Hey everyone, this is Mr. De Vicente here, going over through section 4 of speech functions for the new LPAC testing. And I'm going to take you through this really quickly because I want to maximize your time to get through the training quizzes and the calibration quizzes. So we have about an hour section off for this portion of the LPAC training. The speech functions part of the test is where you ask students questions and they give you responses. So it's a little very similar to what we know of in the CELT, where we ask them to choose and give reasons, but this one's a little bit different. Anyway, so let me take you through it so you guys can get through to your training quizzes. So you have to get through your training presentation, and it basically will walk you through what you're looking at, and we're looking at speech functions here, and so you can click through that and tells you what you should be expecting of your students and yourselves throughout the testing. You'll have a sample response like this one from a student regarding speech functions.
What would you say to your teacher?
Teacher, may I help you? It seems like you're tired.
And so that's just a sample of a response for this section of the test, and it will go through more resources that are available to you in your binder, which is this Moodle binder. And then it'll tell you what standards are aligned to this part of the test. And I'm going to fly through that too. We all know our standards. And it's going to go through procedures, what you need to do, and what to expect, and what is appropriate. And then more directions. I'm going to give you a sample question that you'll see on the test depending on the grade level. And then it's going to tell you this very important part. If they get to question 7 of the speaking part of the test and they have not answered anything correctly or no responses, then you need to stop the entire speaking domain portion of the test. This is really important. I've heard teachers not seeing this in the manual and continuing through the whole test and students not answering. Here's the rubric that you will follow for this section of the test. It's a 0, 1, 2 rubric. Basically, a 0 is no response or does not address the language function. A 1 is tries to address the function but very limited, and then a 2 is addresses the function that the test is asking for. And when you go through this, you'll see, sorry, you'll see many samples of the responses. Here is a responses to making a request. May I borrow a pencil? Is this a question? A statement is I need to borrow a pencil. And then your incomplete sentence. Ask my friend if I can borrow a pencil. So you'll get answers like this, and then you have to judge whether it's a 0, 1, or 2 score on their response. So it makes it sound very challenging to judge the kids on their responses, but as I've been testing for over many years now, I think it's fairly easy to score when you look at whether the students address the functions or not. It's a little bit more challenging with this new LPAC because basically it's different and they changed it on us, so now we have to follow through with with the new rubrics and all that. And so here you'll listen to tracks of what's a score, what a score 0, 1, or 2 is, and the grade level. And there's many of these samples here. And here's a lot more samples of what a score 2 is, score 1, score 0. And again, I want to maximize your time here today, so I'm going to let you know that they're here, but I want to give you time to go through them on your own because we're all different grade levels. And here you have more responses for training purposes. And that's the end of the training session. And so what you need to do is go through that training session yourselves right there, and you'll get that little box checked off here, and then go through the training quizzes for your grade level, and then go through your calibration quizzes, and then you're all set to go for section 4. Thank you for listening to my little video here. Hey everyone, this is Mr. Dixon back here again for section 7 of the LPAC training. And so section 7 revolves around 2 questions on the LPAC that's going to ask students to present and discuss information. And again, just like the other trainings, you're going to go through the section presentation. And again, it's going to tell you, oh yes, we're looking at the present and discuss information section. And more understanding of that. And it's going to give you a description of the test right there for your viewing pleasure. And your training resources that we already know of. And more information on the test type. I'm going to give you a sample.
Now we are going to do a different type of question.
Of how you should be answering or asking the question to students.
I am going to ask you to talk about a bar graph. Look at the bar graph. A group of 100 people were given a survey. They were asked to name their favorite type of technology. The results of the survey were used to complete a bar graph. Take some time to read the bar graph to yourself. Let me know when you are ready for me to ask you a question.
I'm ready.
What does the bar graph show about how people feel regarding different types of technology? Include details from the bar graph in your answer.
Most of them think that the cell phone is their favorite type of technology, and least of them think that digital music player is their favorite type of technology. And there are also tablet, television, and gaming system. They are in the middle.
Turn the page in your test book. Look at the bar graph again. Is the following claim supported or not supported based on the information in the bar graph? Claim. Survey takers name the gaming system their favorite type of technology more often than the cell phone. Give details from the bar graph to support your answer.
Okay. The claim is not supported based on the information in the bar graph, because the people that said they think gaming system is the favorite type of technology. There are only 20 people think that the gaming system is their favorite type of technology, but there are 30 people think that cell phone is their favorite types of technology.
Okay, so very similar to also again the part of the section of the cell that asks students to choose an idea and give reasons why. And so this is very similar to that again. So, and pay attention that the testing guidelines say to be very monotone and not enunciate. But again, that's all subjective. So we're just trying to stay on the same page, somewhere on the same page in terms of proctoring the exam. But as you saw in the video there, in that video, training video from the state, clearly there was enunciation and parts of the questioning that the proctor was doing. So there is no perfect way of doing this, is what I'm trying to get to you. So no reason to stress out too much about it. Here's the rubric again, and sorry, Charles, I said it. Yeah, don't stress out too much about it. So here's the rubric 3210 rubric now for this section of the LPAC, and a 3 responds answers to the question, including mostly clear and accurate description of the information in the graph. It includes a limited response or limited information description of the graph or chart, And number one, it may include some information. So here's the iffy part right here, 1 and a 2, if you ask me. And then zeros, and no response, or completely, not even there regarding the question. And so if you go through the training session here, you'll see more examples of scores, and you can go through those at your leisure. But again, to maximize your time here today, I want to give you guys time to get through your training sets and your calibration quizzes, because those do take time, and I don't want to take up your hour for this section of the time. Just like in section 4, I do not want to take up that time listening to me speak, but rather you getting through the sections you need to get through to be able to proctor this test. And that's it for me today, and I hope that you guys have an awesome testing season, and I hope to see you guys soon, and enjoy the new LPAC. Bye.